Jennifer Lindquist. I'm here at Kaleidoscope Gallery. No! He went. All right, well, I'm going to do that introduction one more time. Today on the live chat, I'm going to talk about being an artist with a day job, and are you considered an artist if you also have a day job that's not art related? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today. So hopefully you'll stay with me to the very end. And I'd love to see some of my friends pop on to the chat. Good morning, Matt. Good morning. It's 1:02, so what time is it where you are? I'm thinking maybe you're not in Florida, or you woke up late. Which that shows me that chat is hard to see. Put this, if I put this down, there we go, just a tad, and move back, still cuts my head off. Okay, noon, okay, so not far, central time zone. All right, so thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you coming on here. Let's see, let me open up my chat window so that I can see people chatting. I'm still figuring out the whole live stream stuff. I think I've got it pretty well worked out. The only thing is I did a different live art stream page. You may have seen this one before. So it should show me when people follow or subscribe. That's what the little glass is, the mug. And then there should be a chat box, but I've not been able to get the chat box to work. So I'm running this so I can see if the chat box will start working for me. But I'm going to go ahead and start with my topic. So I do have a topic today, if you're interested. Can you be an artist with a day job? And I've heard a lot about this, and because it's kind of my daily struggle, it's my grind, it's been like my lifelong struggle is wanting to be an artist. Hello, Mode. Now you have to tell me how I'm supposed to pronounce your first name because I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so actually we'll just wait a couple of minutes and chit chat and then we'll get started. We probably have one or two other people that are gonna come online. Can you hear me okay? Because I started off my stream without my microphone plugged in. And I noticed in one of my videos that I had some technical difficulties, but I couldn't tell from the video. So definitely if you see something like that, glitchiness or anything, let me know, because I did change the video stream to 30 frames per second from 60 frames per second to see if maybe it'll work a little bit better over the wireless connection. So definitely let me know if there's an issue and I will adjust because this is a learning process for me. Alrighty, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. It's 1:05 here in Florida. It's really cold out here today. I say really cold, it's in the 40s, but oh my gosh, we were not expecting it to be chilly weather and we're going to a wedding tonight and I'm debating pants or a dress and freeze my butt off, so I may go in pants. I haven't decided. Anyway, so okay, can you be an artist with a day job? I know a lot of people wait till they're retired to start doing artwork or selling their art, and for me it's kind of been a struggle because I've always been kind of an artist at heart. So what was the job I wanted to do? What was the profession I wanted to go into? Excuse me, I had potato chips in my teeth. So when I was younger, I wanted to be an architect. Oh, the sound is breaking up. No. it's the necklace. Oh, please. All right. So I guess let me know if you notice it breaking up again. So maybe lowering the frames per second was not a good idea. I'm not sure. Okay. So hopefully that's better. Nothing's hitting the microphone, and that might keep it from breaking up. Let's see, we're plugged in all the way. Let me check my sound down here. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit because I've noticed I don't talk very loud. Let's see. All right, I turned up the audio input capture, and hopefully that will make a difference. Thanks. And we'll see how it goes. If not, I'll have to reach out to my son-in-law for some help with the video audio. All right, so let me know if that works. All right, so artist with a day job, is it either or? Do you work a day job or be an artist, or can you do both? Do you have to wait to retire to do artwork? And so like I was saying, that's kind of been a lifelong thing for me. I always wanted to do art. There was a time I wanted to paint murals. There was a time when I wanted to be a Disney artist and do animation. And those things didn't happen for me because life happened. Life kind of got in the way. And I always struggled with, I was working in IT for a long time. And I struggled with doing IT, which is very structured, very much like the type of person who just does Excel spreadsheets, right? There's so much structure. You have to do things a certain way in order to get the end result that you want. And the artist brain is, let me just throw things against the wall and see if it sticks. And so that was kind of the struggle. Like IT squashed my art brain a little bit. And so I felt like I could either do art or I could do my job, and I couldn't ever seem to get to where art was my job. And at some point, I resigned myself to the fact that art's going to be a hobby. It's going to be something that I do just for fun and for myself. And I enjoyed it, and there's definitely been times when that's all I had was my art as a hobby. And I used to feel, I kind of had that failure feeling because I didn't get to go to art school. I wasn't a animation artist, and even now I don't do animation. A lot of the stuff that I used to do when I was younger was cartoons, and I really loved it because I had little kids, and that's what I enjoyed. But something to consider is maybe doing art as a hobby is enough, because I think we as adults need, if you're an artist, you need that artist outlet. I know my cousin JP, she's a musician, and she's been a stay-at-home mom for a long time, and she also teaches, but she has other ways to have those art outlets. You can do it through church. And for me right now, my kids are gone, so I have the free time to paint. And then, so it doesn't have to be just a hobby, but right now it's considered a hobby while I'm selling. And I'm okay with that because I really like my job. I managed to find a job where I can do the technical and creative stuff kind of together. So to be an artist with a day job, I think what's really important is not just to do art and hide it in your home and show people when they come over. It's to get your artwork out there. I do not want my art to interfere with my day job. Let's be clear. And it's one of the things I've learned the past couple of years is when I work on an art project, I've got something going, I've got a series going, my brain goes into overdrive. If I paint before I go to bed, I'm thinking about it as I'm falling asleep. And sometimes when I'm working, my thoughts will be interrupted by any of the artwork that I've got going on. And the thing is you got to kind of compartmentalize. I don't know about you, But for me, I have trouble compartmentalizing those things. So I have to say, okay, when I'm at work, I'm working. And when I get off work, I can go do my art stuff and keep it separate. And then I kind of fill my head with music. I listen to music a lot when I'm working to kind of keep all that stuff out of my brain because it's hard to shut it off. Let's see. And another thing, as far as if you're working full time and you want to show your artwork, I highly recommend just doing some small art shows. Find some time, carve out a little bit of time for your artwork. And the way I do it that's worked really well for me is the small art walks. And they are a small time commitment. And once I did a few of them, I no longer need to take the day off in order to organize. I keep my stuff basically organized, and every once in a while I'll just go back through it, and if anything's missing a tag, I'll print a new tag, and that really works for me. Also, you can talk about your artwork at work, but what I do with my coworkers is I will informally invite them to my shows. So I actually sent out an email to my coworkers and say, hey, if you want to know more about my artwork, let me know if you want to be on the list, and I'll put you on my mailing list, and it'll go to your personal email, not your work email. But if I have a show coming up, I still walk around to their desk and let them know. It's not a big thing. And sometimes I give art as gifts to my coworkers that I know really like it. So that's a nice way to be able to kind of bring it into the workplace, but it's not taking over my work. It's just a hobby. Also this year we have, and I really wish, it's one of the Microsoft softwares we have at work. It's kind of a social media platform. It's kind of the Facebook of the workplace. And I'm a techie and I should know what this is, but I've got a brain fart, so I can't think of it. But we actually have a group that formed that's a hobby club. And I think this was a big turning point for me. So many people in this group have hobbies where they're doing artwork and selling it to friends or going to these shows. And I don't know, for some reason I always kind of felt like it was just me that tried to do both, but it's not. There are a lot of people, so I think it's really important to get kind of a support group in that says, hey, it's okay to have something that you're doing, that you're selling for money. It's not a second job. It's just something you're doing for fun outside of work. And so that made a really big difference for me. I'm so happy I found them. And plus I get to meet a lot of other creatives, and we can share ideas, and it's a place to share my artwork. We're allowed to share our artwork there. And it's not looked down on because it's in the workplace. It's just kind of another aspect, kind of getting to know your coworkers on a different level, which is really, really nice, by the way, to get to know other people at work who have these kind of artistic hobbies. I'm on call and I just got a ticket. All right, I got a few minutes, so we're at 1:14. Okay, so finding time to work on your artwork when you work full time. So this can be a little bit tricky. Now, I'm blessed enough to work from home 50% of the time. So the days when I work from home, sometimes I'll just make myself a cup of coffee and have a real quick breakfast, maybe a smoothie. And I'll sit down and I'll paint for an hour before I start working, which is great. It's bad if you kind of get in the groove and you want to keep going. But it's nice to have just that little bit of time in the morning that's uninterrupted. My husband's already gone to work. I have nobody else to worry about but myself, and I can just sit down and do a little bit of painting. And then my art stuff for the day is done. So if I want to come back to it, it's like a bonus. But if I don't feel like I've neglected that for the day. And it actually is a really nice way to start my day, almost better than working out for me. And I go to the gym a lot, so that's saying something. And let's see, so mornings before work, if you can fit it in the evenings. So I try to make time for dinner and conversation time with my husband, and I'll sketch while we're watching TV. And so I'm kind of half watching TV, and I try to pay attention a little bit, but I pull up reference photos that I want to sketch out, and I'll do that. And that way I can still spend time with my husband and still be doing my artwork. And sometimes I'll if I get home well before him and it's not a gym day, I'll just get a little bit of painting done. But most of the time I wait till the evenings or on the weekends, and that works out. That way I can have a big chunk of time to do some painting. Let's see, I already talked about not letting it interfere with your work hours. So here's the reality of being an artist with a day job. There are periods of time when it just does not work out. You know, and you just have to face the fact that sometimes it's not going to work out where you can do both. So for me, if I have a big project coming up, I'm not going to do any artwork. And this week we have a big push for patches that we need to get out, and there's a very good chance that I'll be working every night. And I had to help a family member work from home, which made my commute longer than normal for a little while, and I wasn't able to do much artwork. So it's really important to just kind of say, hey, it's okay if I don't do it during this time. You're working full time, so as long as you don't give yourself an unrealistic timeline to get something done, it's okay. And if you're not working with a gallery that requires stuff to be done, you know, a new collection every quarter or every half year, then it gives you a little bit more time to get stuff done and put stuff out at your timing. And that's what I like about this, is I can do it when I can do it. Let's see. Sorry, I know I say a lot. My mom told me. Same thing as in my speech class in college. Don't count them. I don't want to know. All right, let's see. Well, I guess I've covered pretty much everything. It's possible. It's possible to be a professional artist. I'd say the best thing, or the best way to do it, is to get yourself at least 1 or 2 collections together. Don't wait to start selling until then, but get 1 or 2 collections. Make sure you get really good pictures of your collections. I may actually start getting my stuff scanned in at RT Art instead of taking pictures, because of the time commitment of taking a day to photograph pictures and edit. It might be worth it to me to just pay to have them scanned in. But if you have prints that you can sell, and you have a couple of collections, maybe you can put up someplace. Maybe there's places, restaurants. There are some restaurants around here that do shows, and I'd be happy if we have enough people that live in the Orlando area to kind of get some of those together and give you an idea of places that do call to artists. You know, you can have your stuff on the wall showing someplace, and that doesn't require, you know, like a gallery for you to keep submitting, but it's still there, it's still available to sell, and there's no time commitment. You can definitely be a professional artist, and that's the thing, is I think you need to find a way to do it on your own terms, and that's what the internet's all about, right? So one of the reasons that I am so much into social media is because I can do this when I have time to do it. And yes, it's a big time commitment sometimes, but I really enjoy it, and I love being on YouTube, and I'm enjoying the live streaming when it works, because sometimes I struggle with the tech stuff just like everybody else. But it's definitely possible, but it's all about taking your time. Don't be in a hurry. I would recommend not being in a hurry. And for me, it's slow and steady. It's getting my name out there, getting some nice artwork done and sharing it, and just letting people know what I've got available, and they will come. And that's my job. So I gotta go. This is gonna be the shortest live stream yet. I am so sorry. Okay. I'm gonna decline it. I'm gonna go ahead and log off, because that's just gotta come first. But I hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Matt, for showing up. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the sound improved. And I'll see you. Maybe I'll see you at a gallery. Maybe I'll see you at one of the shows I have this week. I have Wine Art Wednesday in Lake Mary. And then second Thursday in Longwood is coming up this week. And for right now, that's all I have scheduled. I'm still debating whether or not to do Baldwin Park's St. Patrick's Day Festival. So if you want to see that, if you want to see me out there, let me know. And that's it. So you can do it. And I'd love to hear from you if you have any questions, if you just want to talk, because the more people that come in here and talk, the less you have to hear me talk about stuff that maybe isn't the topic that you want to hear about. So let's take some time to get to know each other. Uh-oh, my phone just paused. All right, well, I'm going to go, and maybe I'll see you at the beach. Da-da-da. Bye. I'm ending my stream. See ya.